Okay, so where we left off last was I was about to start the beginning of turn two, the brimstone round. So I played that out and I didn't film it because I showed you everything you need to know about that round. So now we're at the fantastic being round, and purple, the AI, had one being choice in the previous card segment. So purple will have being choice and the human player will have second being. If you look at the board, let me make just so you can actually see what I'm talking about. All right, when you look at the board, the paralyzer is in play and the berserker is in play. You have to keep in mind the AI is partially blind. Like, it doesn't know where the dragon is. It doesn't know where your hero is. So there's going to be a lot of luck. Like, actually, if you go through the priority, it's going to probably want to pick the berserker first. Um, but I don't think the berserker will meet requirements. So by luck, it's going to probably pick the paralyzer. Um, if I was playing this, the obvious move is to move the paralyzer and paralyze the brown hero. But let's see how it plays out on the website. Just keep in mind it is partially blind, so it's going to make some bad decisions. It's up to you if you want to override it. I don't override it because I'm ultimately trying to beat this thing at a higher skill level, right? And so there's going to be multiple AI opponents throwing their heroes at my home castle. So you kind of have to survive that onslaught. But you play it as you like. So I'm going to switch over now to the tablet and see how this plays out. Okay, we are now back at the tablet, and purple has being choice. So he's going to focus on this section right here. It says being choice if AI controlled. Let's see what the priority is on the drop down. The priority lists the berserker as 6 and the paralyzer as 10. So you have to select the berserker over the paralyzer. We select the berserker, right? And let's read the requirements. Requirements are in blue, and they're right here. And it basically says after you move the berserker, he's got to be within 3 spaces or less of any brown unit that's not in a structure. If this isn't the case, don't move him. Requirements are not met. And these requirements are not met. No matter where I move the berserker, remember, he's only got a 3M. So if he moves down, he's in the forest. He can move down 1 space into the forest. So he's not going to get anywhere near the hero. And that's the closest brown unit. So what I'm going to do now then is select the paralyzer. The paralyzer is listed as 10, right? And the paralyzer basically has the same requirements. It says after movement, the paralyzer must be in 3 spaces or less of a unit that's not in a structure. There is an exception to this, and it's right here. This exception basically says if these requirements aren't met, but the paralyzer is adjacent to purple's ATF, you would select the paralyzer and move him away such that the paralyzing effects is gone from my hero. All right, so we're going to select the paralyzer, and I'm going to go back over to the board and show you the movement of the paralyzer. Okay, so the AI chose the paralyzer. The paralyzer, he can move it a maximum of 8 spaces, right? But he doesn't have to because he's got being choice. In other words, he uses a paralyzer just like it's one of his own resources or own units. So I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to move it right here. So I'm only moving it 2 spaces. If you read the how to use the paralyzer on the website, it would tell you to try to maximize his effect. So, like, if there was a guy right there, you would then end here because he's paralyzing 2 instead of 1. It's kind of common sense. So, all right, so that's it for that turn. So now it's the human player's turn, and he's got second being. When he rolls for second being, actually, I'm going to do it right now. Okay. Okay, so I rolled a 6 and a 3 when I was back on the tablet. Didn't feel the need to film that. And 3 is southeast, which is this direction, and 6 is northwest, which is this direction. So as the human player, I'm obviously going to go northwest, get this guy as close to my opponent as possible. He's got a 3M. 1, 2, 3. He stops. Okay. All right, so since he stopped right here, I'm adjacent to a unit. If this was the first being, if I was operating him as the first being, I could attack this unit. But I'm operating him under second being rules, right? And that doesn't allow me to control him like he's one of my units. So I'm forced to move him in a straight line, and he would only attack if there was somebody in his path. And there isn't. If he was a flying being, he would only attack if the spot he landed on was occupied. So anyway, he goes there, he stops, and does nothing, because he's second being. So that's the end of the Fantastic Being round for turn 2.